Alright, so we're going to take a look at this Hoy construction that's got some things kind of stuck to, each other. And we're going to just controlled zoom, left click and hold the mouse button down and drag around it and controlled zoom. And you can zoom in a little bit closer. And we've got, remember to right click to turn off the zoom, but we've got a couple of things going on. First, we have some jumps here that need to go. So between the word Hoy and here is a blank spot. Go ahead and put a trim in here and then left click on that second piece. So you're clicking on the scissor under Hoy and left clicking on that second piece that's a blank and pressing Control and Delete, and we're going to say yes, get rid of it. Now the jump is still there. Let's just go ahead and put the trim back in if it comes out. Alright, so we also have like some trims here and we'll look at those in a second. Here's my line, so that's working out okay. And then I've got this. So it's the same thing that jump. So we're going to left click on that blank cell and press Control and Delete and remove it and put a trim between there. So now we've got those trimmed off. Now I've got a problem here with this connection. So I need to look at how to get rid of that connection. So let's zoom in real close right here where the connection takes place. Then we're going to use some of our views. Let's go to next to the insert image, we're going to click on needle penetration. And you can see all of those little nodes. And then we're going to come over to edit mode. We're going to select that. Now let's go ahead and let's zoom in here a little bit closer. And we're still with needle penetration view and edit mode. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and come down here and I get a bullseye cursor when I move over these little needle penetrations, and I'm going to left click on that. Then I'm going to use the arrow keys, the up and the down arrow keys, to move to these stitches. Okay, so there's my last stitch right there. When I'm there, I'm going to mouse over and get a bullseye cursor, right click, and I'm going to replace the stitches with a trim. So now what I've got is this trim in there. Okay, it still doesn't resolve the problem, but now I can go to, just this lettering. Okay, see my trim is in there, right? And, I can use this needle penetration view. Okay, remember, needle penetration view and edit mode. And I can just come down here and left click and hold my mouse button down and drag around these stitches and press delete. So let's go to 101, and there is our new new design without the lettering. Now if you really want to, you can use the same option here where we've got like these little jumps, right? So I would come over here and left click here and use the up and down arrow keys to, if you have to, sometimes you have to kind of scroll through the design, and if you don't get that needle penetrate, or if you don't hit the right point. So maybe moving over here is a little bit easier, and then we can move those up and down arrows and see where we're going. Because what I need to do is get back to that point. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so I can see. I think maybe I'm zoomed in just a little bit too much. Okay, so there's where my jump actually is. If I use that up and down arrow key, see where that jump is? Well, I can do the same thing here. I can come over here and I can right click and replace stitches by a trim. And come over here. It doesn't split the area up, but what it does do, let me kind of get in here and select that point, and then use your arrow keys. Make sure you've got the right point selected, right? And sometimes you just have to kind of use that arrow key and bounce back and forth until you get where you need to go. So remember, up or down arrows. So same thing, replace stitches by a trim. So here's what I have now. I've got this all set up so that there's trim, 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 and I have no jumps in between. So that's the quick way to get rid of those things. Insert that trim and split those pieces apart, and then use that needle penetration and edit mode view to just select the stitches you want to get rid of and delete them.